Hello, imaginary viewers. My name is Daku, just Daku, and I am here in the first room of the first floor of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup Edition. I'm here because for the past few months I've been in dire need of a hobby, and I was able to use several excuses not to get started on a short story series or a vlog or other things like that. But once I discovered a freeware recording and live streaming program by the name of the Open Broadcaster Project, I could no longer think of a reason not to try a YouTube series. So here I am, giving the old Let's Play genre a shot. Of course, as I stated in my channel's About blurb, I possess none of the qualities of a good Let's Player, and this series is more likely than not to devolve into my gibbering illusions of grandeur. But I'm quite fond of the handful of existing gaming celebrities on YouTube. Toby Games, Game Grumps with the animator Ego Raptor, Pro Jared, etc. And if you've never heard of any of them and you're into that sort of thing, I would recommend that you go and check out their channels. Like, right now. This video ain't going anywhere at the moment. So now that I've got those paling comparisons out of the way, I really would enjoy any input that you have after stumbling upon this dusty little corner of the internet and anything that more genuine Let's Players would have to say to a newbie like me. I'm just here to have fun, of course, but I would like the experience to be as painless as possible for you as well. If you're someone that's looking into getting started with Let's Playing as well, I have a playlist link in my channel that I recommend as well. It's a short series of videos about the whole idea of the Let's Play and how to do it and the various faux pas and whatnot, made by a very soft-spoken gentleman by the screen name of Dark-Minded Sith. I probably should have paid more than 5 minutes of attention to it myself, actually. Sorry if my voice is already grating on your nerves. It's always like this, don't worry. Another reason why I'm doing this series is because I'm a terrible public speaker, and even an imagined audience is challenge enough for me to practice speaking to. This whole time I've been reading off of an hour's work of script writing, actually. But my foresight and my lines are about to come to an end here, so you'll likely experience an audio cut here and there where I clumsily edit out the stammering and the silence and all that, but I will go ahead and spend the rest of this video, actually playing the game, and seeing how well the video quality holds up after the upload as well. I get between 10 and 15 minutes as a basic user, right? We'll see. I am Daku, very original name, I know. The Minotaur Fighter, or Warrior, or whatever the name of the class was. And something you'll probably pick up on quickly if I do many of these videos is that I have a thing for minotaurs and orcs and trolls, all those sorts of typical villainous races from fantasy. And I would be playing as a priest because of this existing character archetype that I had going, but it seems that they removed that class in the latest update to the game. I don't know why, they're always changing stuff. But Dungeon Crawl is basically a very user-friendly, far more user-friendly than the other roguelikes that have existed. Well, roguelike game. It allows mouse input. You can click around to move or to pick things up. And has a built-in tile system, which is for visual effects, which is very pretty in my opinion, and a little easier to focus on than the, would you call it ASCII graphics or text graphics? Whatever. And it's a pretty fun thing to doink around with for a lunch break or something like that. It is permadeath, and I don't know of any way to alter it so that you can save and come back after dying. But, and it can go on for a very long time, so it's pretty challenging for most people, I would say, but it's still fun to mess around with. I'm sure that once this character inevitably dies, there's going to be a huge list of my previous fallen characters. Oh, level 2. All my previous characters that have been killed off in various ways. I always either starve to death because I forget to look at the yellow or orange hunger indicator, or I get slaughtered by orc wizards. I hate orc wizards. Maybe I can figure out if that mace is enchanted by holding it for a while. Anyway, this is pretty much the first level of the game. Running into things and face-rolling the controls, and oh boy, don't want to get surrounded at least. One thing you always want to do is, unless you're up against something that has an AoE attack or something like that, is to lead all of your enemies into a corridor. That makes it easier to deal with one at a time. Just make sure that that corridor doesn't also block you in. Otherwise, you're probably dead. And it's a pretty slow pace at first. Lots of things materialize out of the darkness and die instantly, especially bats. Those can be such a pain to chase after, in my experience at least. And every once in a while you get towards an area that looks kind of pre-generated, like that shrine that I left at the very beginning by the doorway. Mistake. But it's enough to break up the monotony of running down empty corridor after corridor. And I feel like I'm already running out of content in this video. Oh well, now that I've gone through a half-dozen test videos to just get my voice to function, I'm kind of having fun. I wonder if this is what it's like to have a complete brain fart and forget your words. Anyway, I think I should be getting to level 3 soon. Then I'll get my first stat boost. I'll probably just throw it into strength. And after that point, I'll probably descend further into the dungeon. There are shops in this game, so I will be able to spend some of the gold that I've been collecting, but I think by default you can't sell anything that you pick up. I think it contributes to your score at the end of the game when you finally die or succeed in obtaining the, Wait, what's the point of this game again? You obtain the Orb of Zot, or something like that. It's a powerful magical artifact that's at the bottom of this dungeon filled with God knows what. And, you obtain that by first getting a bunch of runes or seals or something like that. I've never gotten far enough to know for sure. But probably won't be seeing anything more than the 5th floor on this playthrough. What the hell was my original thought? Ooh, kill the bat! Come here. Come here. Come here. Come. There we go. It looks like I've cleared pretty much everything on this floor, so I'll go ahead and just drop down so that I can hold your attention for a little longer. Not that you have the attention span of a goldfish, just that I'm boring. Oh crap, a worm. I remember the first character I ever started up in this game. I was in a totally enclosed little room with some doors on either side, and I walked through one, and I walked past a couple of rows of statues, and I examined each one, even though they didn't say anything different. And then I walked through another door, and there was one of those, and I was playing some kind of warrior caster, and it just wrecked me. It was the most anticlimactic, brief game I've ever played, or at least that year. But it was pretty funny, and I'm far more used to it now. What am I up to so far? Oh, hey! 9.5 minutes. And, I guess on that note, I will break for some food. That was a terrible joke. Until next time, imaginary audience, this is Daku, just Daku.